Welcome back to 6th ICSE Biology classes. So children, in our previous session, we were discussed about the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cells, and we also seen the temporary mounting of the plant cell, and we also discussed that how to mount the animal cell. Now today we will discuss about the structure of a cell. Structure of both plant cell as well as the animal cell. So basically the structure of a cell or the cell is having three main parts, right? One is the cell membrane, then cytoplasm and the nucleus. Now first let us study about the animal cell. Now a cell is a protected, or a cell is having an outer membrane, right? And this outer membrane is called as cell membrane, right? It is called as cell membrane, right? So what is cell membrane? A cell membrane, the outer covering, the outer thin and delicate membrane is called as cell membrane, right? And this membrane is porous. It means that it is having the pores on the membrane, right? It is having the pores, and this membrane is a semi-permeable membrane, right? So the outer covering of the animal cell. So this is animal cell is called as cell membrane, and this cell membrane is selectively, not semi, right? Selectively permeable. This is very important term. What do you mean by selectively permeable membrane? See here, the name itself suggests you. What do you mean by selectively permeable? It means that this membrane, it allows only the selected substances to pass in or to pass out or diffuse out from the cell, right? That's why the name is called as what? Selectively permeable membrane, right? It's just like this one. Suppose if you are having a many friends, right? Some are your well-wishers and some maybe they do not have a good opinion about you, right? So when you are doing the friendship, you will be selective, right? You will select those people or those friends who are your well-wisher, who will think good about you, right? You will select only those person, and who are not your well-wisher, you will not select them, right? In the same way, the cell is also selecting those substances which are essential for the cell, and the substances which are harmful to the cell will be diffused out from the cell, and this cell membrane will do this work. That's why the cell membrane is a selectively permeable membrane. So what do you mean by the selectively permeable membrane? It means that it selects the useful or essential substances to pass in and the harmful substances to diffuse out from the cell. That's why the nature of the membrane is a selectively permeable membrane, and it is porous. It means that it is having the pores so that the materials or the substances can go in and come out from the cell, and it is outer thin and delicate membrane, and it is a living membrane. It is made up of a living cells, right? It is a living membrane. So these are the characteristics of the cell membrane. Now, depending upon these, we can easily list out the function, right? Since, here the first main function, since it is the outermost layer, right? Outermost thin and the delicate layers. When it is the outermost layer, it means that it gives the definite shape and size to the cell, right? So what will be the first function, children? It gives the definite shape. It gives a definite shape and size. It gives a definite shape and size to cell, right? And we know that it is a selectively permeable. So what is the function? Already I told you, right? It allows the necessary substances to pass in and the harmful substances to diffuse out from the cell. So it allows necessary substances to pass in and harmful substances, right, to diffuse out from the cell. So these are the functions, diffuse out from the cell, right? So these are the functions of the cell membrane. So now next we'll move to the another part of the cell, that is cytoplasm. So this cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance, which is present inside the cell is called as cytoplasm, right? So this jelly-like substance is called as cytoplasm, right? And in this cytoplasm, we will see the different structures, right? We will see the different living bodies or the living structures, and those structures are called as the cell organelles, right? What do you call for those one? Those are called as the cell organelles. For example, like endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, lysosome, ribosome, right? So all these are the living structures which are present in the cytoplasm and called as cell organelles. Along with these cell organelles, the cytoplasm also contains the cell inclusions. It also contains the cell inclusions. It means that these cell inclusions are nothing but the droplets of the fats or of the proteins, right? So the cytoplasm is made up of the living structures called as cell organelles, and it also containing the cell inclusions like the droplets of the proteins and the fats, right? So what is cytoplasm? It is a jelly-like substance present in the cell is called as cytoplasm, right? And this cytoplasm contains the living structures. So what do you call for the living structures? Those are called as the cell organelles or the organelles, right? Those are called as organelles. What are the example? Yes, it is what? Endoplasmic reticulum. So slowly we will see what is endoplasmic reticulum, what is mitochondria, right? All we will study in detail about this one. So now just understand endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, lysosome, Golgi bodies, all these are the cell organelles. Along with this, what else is present? Yes, the cell inclusions. So what are these cell inclusions, children? They are nothing but the droplets of fats or the proteins, excess protein or excess fat. Those are called as the cell inclusions. And this cytoplasm is the physical basis. It is the physical basis of all metabolic activities, right? It is the physical basis for all the metabolic activities. It means that all the metabolic activities, either it may be the respiration, it may be the digestion, excretion or whatever, for all the metabolic activities, the cell is responsible. So in the cell, there are so many biochemical reactions will be takes place, like respiration and all, right? And due to that, we can sustain, we can carry out our metabolic activities. That's why we said that cytoplasm is the physical basis for all the life activities, because all these organelles, cell organelles like mitochondria, lysosome, right, endoplasmic reticulums, they help to carry out the metabolic activities. That's why we call the cytoplasm as the physical basis of metabolic activities. So now next we will move to the another part of the cell, that is nucleus. So nucleus in the animal cell, right children? The nucleus generally in the animal cell is present at the center. The nucleus is present at the center, right? And this nucleus, so let me write. So nucleus is present at the center. And keep this in the mind, that is in the animal cell. And this nucleus is bonded by the membrane, right? And this membrane is called as nuclear membrane. What do you call this one? Yes, it is called as nuclear membrane. See, it is very simple. If the cell is bounded by a membrane, it is called as a cell membrane, right? In the same way, if the nucleus is bounded by a membrane, then that membrane is called as nuclear membrane, right? So this is nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane. Okay. Now, inside the nucleus, right? Inside the nucleus, there is a jelly-like substance, right? A jelly-like substance is present, and this jelly-like substance is called as nucleoplasm. It is called as what? Nucleoplasm. It is called as nucleoplasm, right? See here, same. Inside the cell, if the jelly-like substance is present, cell cytoplasm. Nucleus, nucleoplasm, right? So it is called as nucleoplasm. It is very easy to remember, right? Cell to cytoplasm. The jelly-like substance which is present in the cell is a cytoplasm. The jelly-like substance which is present inside the nucleus is called as nucleoplasm. Right? So inside the nucleoplasm, there are thread-like structures are present, right? And these thread-like structures are called as chromatin network or a chromatin fiber. These are called as what? Chromatin fibers or chromatin network. Right? So what are these chromatin fibers? So these are the thread-like structures, chromatin network. These are the thread-like structures which is present in the nucleus, is called as chromatin network, right? And these chromatin network will condenses at the time of the cell division. Right? At the time of the cell division, these chromatin network will condenses to form a chromosome. Right? So it forms a structure like this. Okay, and this structure is called as chromosome, right? And on the chromosome, some hereditary units are present, right? And these hereditary units are called as genes. What do you call this one? Genes, not the genes that you wear. These are the genetic material like DNA and RNA. So these DNA and RNA are a genetic material which are responsible for transmitting the hereditary characters from the parents to the offsprings. It means that from parents to the children, right? For example, like the height, right? Or the color of the skin. Some may be fair, some may be dark, right? So the parental characters will be transferred to the children, or it may be the eye color. Some are having the eye color like brown, black and the blue, right? So if they are having a blue colored eyes, so definitely their parents should have that genes. They should have that character. Then only that character will be transmitted from one generation to the other generation. And the characters also like the curly hair or the straight hairs. All these are the genetic characters which are transmitting from the parents to the offsprings. And these are transmitting because of the genes like DNA and RNA, right? So in the nucleus, the thread-like structures are present which are called as chromatin network. This is very important, right? And these chromatin network will condenses during the cell division and forms the chromosome. And on the chromosomes, the hereditary units are present called as genes. The DNA and RNA. DNA is a deoxyribose nucleic acid and RNA is a ribose nucleic acid, and these DNA and the RNA are transmitting the characters like the color of the skin, right, color of hair, right, then the height of the individual. All these characters will be transmitting from the parents to offspring. I hope it is clear regarding the chromatin, right? Now at the center in the nucleus only there is a dark spherical structure is present, and this dark spherical structure is called as nucleolus. It is called as what? Nucleolus. It is called as nucleolus, right? So in the nucleus, tell me now, how many components does the nucleus have? The nucleus is having the outer membrane called as a nuclear membrane. Inside the nucleus, the fluid is present called as nucleoplasm. In the nucleoplasm, the thread-like structures are present which are called as chromatin. In the nucleoplasm, the dark spherical structure is present which is called as a nucleolus, and these nucleolus help to synthesize or to produce the ribosomes, right? And this nucleus is called as the brain of the cell, or we can say the headquarter of the cell. For example, like in your school, right? So the principal chamber is the headquarter. So all the commands or all the orders, whatever, it will be decided there, and from there it will be get executed, right? So it is called as what? Headquarter of the school. In the same way, all the metabolic activities of the cell, will be controlled and coordinated by the nucleus. That's why the nucleus is called either as a headquarter of the cell, or it is also called as a brain of a cell. Right? Why it is called as a brain of a cell? You can guess it easily. Yeah, yes, because all the commands to execute will be given by the brain, right? So our all activities are controlled by the brain, right? We will perform any activity when the brain gives the commands to us, right? That's why. And in the same way, the nucleus, it will control and coordinate all the activities. That's why it is called as the brain of the cell or the headquarter of the cell. Understood why the nucleus is called as headquarter of the cell or the brain of the cell? Because it controls all the metabolic activities of the cell, right? So it contains nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, chromatin network. One more is what? Yes, it is nucleolus. And what is the function of nucleolus? Just now I told. Yes, it helps in the synthesis of the ribosome. So these are the parts of the cell, right? Cytoplasm, then cell membrane and the nucleus. Now, might be you remember, I told that in the cytoplasm, this is what? This is a cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, what is present? Yes, what is? Cell organelles, right? So these are the living structures which are present in the cytoplasm are called as cell organelles. Which are those? Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, lysosome, ribosome, endoplasmic reticulum and the Golgi bodies. All these are the cell organelles which are present in the cell. Now let us study one by one. I will draw the diagram and I will show you so that it should be easier for you children to identify where the cell organelles are present, because the labeling at the same time, the drawing is also very important. Now here at this region, at here we will see this is called as what? Endoplasmic reticulum. See how I will draw. What is this? This is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. So what is this endoplasmic reticulum? So this endoplasmic reticulum helps in the reticulum. It helps in the transporting the substances from the one part to the other part of the cell, right? See, it is connecting to the cell membrane and at the same time it is connecting to the nuclear membrane, and it is like this, right? It means that this endoplasmic reticulum will help to transport the substances from one part to the other part of the cell, right? So it helps in the intracellular transportation. Intracellular transportation, right? And sometimes on this endoplasmic reticulum, some granular structures are present like this, right? Some granular structures are present like this, right? So these granular structures are called as ribosome. They are called as what? Ribosome. It means that these ribosomes either present on the endoplasmic reticulum and sometimes they may be scattered here and there in the cytoplasm, right? So if the ribosomes are present on the endoplasmic reticulum, then see, the endoplasmic reticulum, it appears as a rough, right? It gives the rough appearance to the endoplasmic reticulum. Such type of the endoplasmic reticulum is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum, right? And if you see here, right, here ribosomes are absent, they are not present. So when they are absent, see, it gives the smooth appearance, right? So when it gives the smooth appearance, then the endoplasmic reticulum is called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum, right? It means that there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum, right? Which are those? One is rough endoplasmic reticulum, and second one is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now tell me, what is rough endoplasmic reticulum? If the ribosomes are present on the endoplasmic reticulum, it is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum, right? And if the ribosomes are absent on the endoplasmic reticulum, then it is called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now let us see what is the function of this rough endoplasmic reticulum. Since the ribosomes are present, so rough endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of protein. It helps in the synthesis of protein. The function is very important. They will ask separately, what is the function of rough endoplasmic reticulum? What is the function of smooth endoplasmic reticulum? You must be able to write the functions, right? So rough endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of the protein, whereas the smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of lipids and proteins. Lipids and protein. But rough helps in the synthesis of protein, whereas the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it helps in the synthesis of some of the lipids and steroids. Lipids and the steroids. Right? And along with this, the endoplasmic reticulum also acts as a cytoskeleton. It acts as a cytoskeleton, or you can say it acts as a skeleton to the cell. Right? Just see, here at the center the nucleus is present. It means that, and this is the endoplasmic reticulum, right? So this endoplasmic reticulum is attached to the nucleus also, and at the same time this endoplasmic reticulum is attached to the cell membrane also, right? Just see that with this one it helps to maintain, or it allows the substances to present where they should be, right? It's just like holding, from one hand it is holding the nucleus, and from other hand it is holding the cell membrane, right? I'm just giving an example. You don't write it is holding the nuclear membrane or the cell membrane. It's just to understand. See here. So when it is attached to the nuclear membrane also, and also to the cell membrane, it means that it acts as a skeleton. It provides the skeleton to the cell, right? So these are the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. So let me revise one more time. Endoplasmic reticulum acts as a cytoskeleton. It helps in the transporting the substances from the one place to the another place. That helps in the intracellular transportation. And there are two types of the endoplasmic reticulum: rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So rough endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of protein, and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of lipids and the steroids. Yes, children, up to now we studied about the nucleus, components of the nucleus. We also studied about the cytoplasm and the cell membrane, and we also discussed about the endoplasmic reticulum. So the other cell organelles like ribosome, lysosome, Golgi bodies, right, mitochondria, so all we will discuss in the another or in my next session. So children, please note down today's homework. Draw a animal cell, right? Draw the animal cell for the 2 times. Thank you, children.